Emma, I have not started my project because I want the first version to be excellent.
How excellent is the version that does not exist?
That is an unfair question.
It is also the question perfectionism avoids.
I thought perfectionism meant caring about quality.
High standards can be healthy. The problem begins when the only acceptable result is flawless, and mistakes become evidence about your worth.
So excellence and perfection are different.
Excellence aims for strong work and allows learning. Perfection demands an impossible absence of error.
But if I accept mistakes, will my work become careless?
Acceptance is not carelessness. You can review, improve, and correct without requiring the first attempt to be final.
What does perfectionism do to action?
It can make the starting cost enormous. You do not only need to begin. You feel you must immediately prove that the whole project will succeed.
That is exactly how it feels.
Then you delay, prepare endlessly, or change the plan before the plan has a chance to work.
I call that research.
Research is useful when it answers a decision. It becomes avoidance when every answer creates 5 new requirements.
How do I know the difference?
Ask, what decision will this information change? If there is no clear answer, you may be collecting safety instead of information.
Collecting safety. That sounds familiar.
Perfectionism often tries to remove all uncertainty before action.
But real projects contain uncertainty.
Exactly. So we need a version 1 rule.
What is the rule?
The first version only needs to exist, communicate the main idea, and reveal what should be improved next.
That still sounds uncomfortable.
It is. The goal is not to feel no discomfort. The goal is to make the discomfort survivable.
Give me an English learning example.
You want to record a 1-minute voice message. Perfectionism says, perfect pronunciation, perfect grammar, no pauses.
And the version 1 rule.
Speak for 1 minute, allow pauses, and choose one thing to improve after listening.
Only one thing.
Yes. If you attack every detail, feedback becomes punishment.
What if the result is genuinely poor?
Then you have useful material. Poor work that exists can be revised. Perfect work that exists only in imagination cannot.
That line hurts, but it helps.
Good.
What does research say about perfection and excellence?
Recent work separates striving for excellence from striving for perfection. In some creative tasks, excellence was linked with better performance than perfection.
Why might that happen?
Creative work needs exploration. If every unusual idea risks being wrong, people may produce fewer ideas and judge too early.
So perfection can close the door before the idea grows.
Exactly.
How do I protect quality without returning to perfectionism?
Use stages. Stage 1, create. Stage 2, review. Stage 3, improve. Stage 4, stop when the work meets the real purpose.
Create and judge at different times.
Yes, trying to create and criticize every word at the same moment is exhausting.
What is a real standard?
A standard connected to the purpose. If the purpose is a clear email, the standard is clarity and accuracy, not literary perfection.
If the purpose is practicing English, the standard is completing the practice and learning from it.
Exactly.
What about public work?
Public work may need stronger review, but even then, deadlines, checklists, and peer feedback are better than endless private fear.
Can we use a stop rule?
Yes, decide before starting what done means. For example, 1 draft, 1 fact check, 1 language check, then publish.
A clear stop rule prevents infinite polishing.
And it protects time for the next project.
What if I make a visible mistake?
Correct it when needed. Apologize when needed. Learn. A mistake is an event, not an identity.
Let us learn 5 expressions.
First, it does not have to be perfect.
Second, this is only the first draft.
Third, I can improve it after I start.
Fourth, what does done look like?
Fifth, good enough for this purpose.
Some people dislike good enough.
Good enough is not the same as careless. It means the work meets its real purpose, without consuming unlimited time.
What is today's challenge?
Choose 1 delayed task. Define version 1 in 1 sentence. Then work for 15 minutes without editing the first 5 minutes.
No editing for 5 minutes.
Create material before judging it.
Then choose one improvement.
Exactly. One useful improvement, not 20 attacks.
Excellence can continue.
Perfection does not need to control the door.
The first version can be imperfect and real.
And real work can become better.
Can we apply the version 1 rule to a presentation?
Yes. First, create a rough 3-part outline without choosing perfect words. Second, explain the outline aloud. Third, improve the weak transitions.
That is different from designing every slide before I know the message.
Exactly. Perfectionism often polishes local details before the central structure is clear.
What if I keep changing the title?
Use a placeholder title. A placeholder protects movement while admitting that the decision is temporary.
Can deadlines help?
A realistic deadline can create a stop point, but only if you accept submitting work that meets the purpose instead of work that feels emotionally complete.
Emotionally complete may never arrive.
Correct. Many creators still see possible improvements after publishing.
How should I review without becoming harsh?
Use a checklist based on function. Is the main idea clear? Are the facts correct? Is the language understandable? Is the next action obvious?
The checklist keeps feedback outside my identity.
Yes, it turns judgment into information.
What if I compare my draft with expert work?
Compare process with process. Expert work usually contains years of drafts, feedback, and correction that you cannot see in the final product.
So final products hide their history.
Exactly. Do not compare your visible, beginning with another person's, invisible development.
Can perfectionism appear after success?
Yes, one strong result can create fear that every future result must be equally strong. Then success becomes a new prison.
How do I avoid that?
Return to purpose and process. Ask what this project needs, not what your identity must prove.
That makes excellence repeatable.
Yes, flexible standards support many projects. Perfection tries to make every project a final judgment.
Can perfectionism affect teamwork too?
Yes, a perfectionist may redo other people's work, avoid delegation, or delay decisions because no option feels completely safe.
That can look like high responsibility.
Sometimes it is careful work, but when one person must control every detail, the team loses speed, trust, and learning.
How can a team use excellence instead?
Agree on the purpose, define the standard, assign ownership, and create review points. Quality becomes a shared process instead of one person's anxiety.
What if someone produces work below the standard?
Give specific feedback and time to improve. The answer is not to remove every responsibility forever.
So mistakes can become training data.
Exactly. A team that never allows learning will depend on the same expert forever.
Can perfectionism hide in language learning?
Very often, learners wait until they know every grammar rule before speaking, or they abandon a sentence when one word is missing.
What should they do instead?
Use communication strategies, simpler words, examples, gestures, or a question such as, "How do you say this in English?"
That keeps the conversation alive.
And it creates real feedback.
What about pronunciation?
Aim for clear speech, not imitation of one perfect accent. Improve sounds that affect understanding, then continue communicating.
Can a person be perfectionistic only in one area?
Yes, someone may be flexible at work and rigid about appearance, parenting, study, or creative work.
Then the version 1 rule should be applied to the specific area.
Correct. General advice becomes useful when connected to one real task.
What if I feel shame after a mistake?
Name the mistake precisely, repair what can be repaired, and speak to yourself as you would to a responsible learner.
Not as if nothing happened.
No, compassion and accountability can work together.
That may be the hardest skill.
It becomes easier with practice. Each repaired mistake weakens the belief that one error destroys everything. This is only the first draft. This is only the first draft.
Complete the idea in your own words. This is only the first draft. I can improve it after I start. I can improve it after I start.
Complete the idea in your own words. I can improve it after I start.
Before we finish, let us test this idea in 3 ordinary situations.
First, imagine you are learning English after a long day. The goal is not to feel perfect. The goal is to make the next useful action easy enough to begin.
Second, imagine you miss one day. A missed day is information, not a final judgment. You can return with a smaller step and protect the direction.
Third, imagine the plan works for 1 week. Do not immediately make it twice as difficult. Keep the system stable long enough to learn what is really helping.
That is an important point. Progress often becomes fragile when we increase the difficulty before the routine becomes reliable.
So use the method as an experiment. Notice what happens, change one thing at a time, and keep the part that makes action clearer.